The U.S. Navy has sent a destroyer close to a contested island in the South China Sea that Beijing has fortified with military installations to stake its territorial claims on the region. The sailing came as the Chinese military entered a third day of a show of force around Taiwan, 1,000 miles away near the northern entrance to the South China Sea, in response to a brief visit by Taiwan's president to the United States. On Monday, a statement from the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet said that the guided missile destroyer USS Milius passed within 12 nautical miles, the internationally recognized limit of a nation's territorial waters, of Mischief Reef in the Spratly Islands, known as the Nansha Islands in China. Mischief Reef, which lies in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, is also claimed by Vietnam and Taiwan. But Beijing has asserted its claims to the island by building it up and placing military infrastructure on it. The U.S. contends such actions are in violation of the Law of the Sea Convention. Features like Mischief Reef that are submerged at high tide in their natural form state are not entitled to a territorial sea. The land reclamation efforts, installations, and structures built on Mischief Reef do not change this characterization under international law, the U.S. 7th Fleet statement said. China claims almost all of the vast South China Sea as part of its territorial waters, including many distant islands and inlets in the disputed body of water, many of which, like Mischief Reef, Beijing has militarized. A spokesperson for the People's Liberation Army's Southern Theater Command said the U.S. destroyer illegally intruded into Chinese waters near Mischief Reef, which Beijing calls Meiji Reef. China has indisputable sovereignty over the South China Sea Islands and their nearby waters, Air Force Senior Colonel Tian Junli said in a statement. The U.S. destroyer's so-called Freedom of Navigation operation defended the rights for vessels of any nation to operate in the area, the 7th Fleet statement said. U.S. warships regularly conduct phone ops in the South China Sea, and Monday's was the second in 3 weeks by the Milius, which on March 23rd sailed near the Paracel Islands, known as the Xisha Islands in China, in the northern part of the South China Sea. The United States will fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, regardless of the location of excessive maritime claims and regardless of current events, the 7th Fleet said in Monday's statement. After the March phone-op, Beijing claimed the U.S. had violated its sovereignty while undermining peace and stability in the South China Sea. Tan Qifei, spokesperson for the Chinese Defense Ministry, said. Monday's U.S. phone-op came as Chinese forces entered their third day of large-scale military exercises around the island of Taiwan, the self-governing democracy to the north of the South China Sea that China's ruling Communist Party claims as its territory despite never having ruled it. Beijing launched the operations around Taiwan on Saturday, a day after Taiwan's president, Tsai Ing-wen, returned from a 10-day visit to Central America and the United States, where she met U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Beijing had repeatedly warned against Tsai's meetings with McCarthy and had previously threatened to take strong and resolute measures if it went ahead. The joint training in unfamiliar and complex waters is of great significance in exploring the boundaries of new equipment effectiveness, testing the practical application of new warfare methods, the command said, citing a training officer. The exercises in more distant seas in the West Pacific came soon after a carrier group led by the Shandong, one of China's 2 operational aircraft carriers, returned to its home port this month after sailing around Taiwan and into the Western Pacific. China is modernizing its military and its formidable missile forces and Navy fleet, with new vessels such as cutting-edge cruisers, and posing a concern for the US and its allies. China's aircraft carrier is not a homebody and cannot just stay at home, Song Zhongpeng, a military commentator with Hong Kong's Phoenix TV, told Reuters, referring to the Shandong. There will be more and more of these distant sea travels in the future. Also, China has quite a lot of warships. In March, China's first domestically produced amphibious assault ship, the Hainan, along with a destroyer, a frigate, and a supply ship, completed their first distant sea training after a 30-day trip into the South China Sea and the Western Pacific, the Southern Theater Command said.
Launch of an